Welcome back to Rock and Rattle Retreat. It is winter. We're still waiting for some stuff to get hooked up so we actually have heat in the house. So in the meantime, we've been doing other stuff. We're going to have an unboxing here. Actually, there'll be two unboxings. This is the first one. So, got this on Amazon. Yes, I paid money for this. This was not provided. Have not gotten anything provided to me at all. Or you can actually purchase this through superatv.com, I believe. So, I got it through Amazon. So we're cutting this baby open. And I've been looking for one of these for a while now. It is for the Mule. We've got a 2018 Mule DX Pro. Mule Pro DX. Alright, so I got a piece of metal wrapped in bubble wrap and then a piece of plastic here. That's what shows outside, the other stuff's inside. And we'll open this up here. Yeah, it's hard to do things one-handed sometimes. So, we gotta cut some tape off this bubble wrap. Okay. Anybody figure it out yet? Probably not. Probably looked at the description. Who knows? This is going to be a hood scoop. The Mule Pro is, what do I want to say, susceptible to extra heat in the summer. So the radiator is up front. So you're driving around in the summer, the radiator up front, engine in the back. Some of that radiator heat comes into the cab. I've done a little bit of sealing up underneath the dash, but not enough to stop all of the heat coming in. So bought this to try to help alleviate some of that. Okay, so that's the two pieces, and then there is a packet of hardware. And that's it in the box. Done with the box. Bye-bye box. Okay, hardware. Yeah, they even bubble wrap the hardware. So they got a couple brackets and a little pouch of hardware. So we got two big brackets and two smaller brackets. And then a package of actual hardware. Not a lot of hardware needed in this. Alright. So this is going up here where the hood is. The hood is connected by two, yeah, it's got a little water on it. We're doing this in the shed, not the garage. Shed's warmer. Yeah, 2/4 turn things to actually remove the hood. Then it's got little springs there to help it come up. That's radiator down in there. Okay, first thing off, there was no instructions included in this package. You have to go to the internet, YouTube, and look at the instructions via YouTube. So I think they missed a few things, but you got to take those little plunger things out, 1/4 turn pieces. And basically it is a plastic washer on it that is slit. So you got to find the slit. There you go, slit, and get it to come off of that piece. Try to show you here. Not too easy to do sometimes, especially if you're trying to have the camera at the same time. So remove that stuff. Technically you can throw it away. Don't need them anymore. Okay. In the corner of your hood opening there are bolts, one in each quarter. You gotta remove them. We're putting different bolts in, so you could technically throw those away too. Just need a socket to get them out. And there it is. A bolt and a little kind of washer. So you take the small brackets and the hardware, which is a bolt and a nut. There's two on the sides, and then there's another one that goes down in there. So one more on the side. You can snug them up, but leave them loose. It does not say that in the instructions. And then you can see there's a lip in there. So the bracket goes on one side of the lip and the actual hood scoop goes on the other side of that lip. And here's the other little bolt going in the top. Yeah, don't snug it up too tight. It's got to all move. That's not in the instructions. Pro tip. So you do get an Allen wrench to put this in, and it's not great trying to get that thing in there. It takes a little bit of finagling, but once it goes, it's pretty good. So because there's a lip in between them, you want to make sure that those bolts are a little bit loose so that lip can get in there. And the hood scoop portion goes around the entire lip there. So it goes inside, and there's a lip on the inside that it goes into. Okay. And then of course, if you're in the winter time and you want to keep the heat in, you use that plastic piece. So this is the bigger bracket. The flat side goes up, the sort of contoured piece goes down. Now you get another bolt and nut that go in this one. And here's from the bottom, so you can actually see it going in. And those two holes line up with the front. And like I say, in the summertime, you probably want it to breathe because it's going to basically, when you're driving it around, the air will come through those grates into that engine, not engine, but where the radiator is, behind the radiator, and help flush the hot air out of that area and not into the cab. Okay, get the bolt in there and snug it up. So you need the Allen wrench on top and a socket on the bottom. Don't tighten it all the way down because you got another one to do in the other corner. Yeah, look at the cobwebs down in there. Okay, so if you got both of them in, you can snug them up. And there is the plastic piece in there now. So you've got to put the plastic piece in before you put those 4 nuts and bolts in. And when you want to remove it, you got to remove those 4 nuts and bolts to actually get it out, and you got to put them back, because that's what holds the bracket in there to it and holds it the front of it down. So it is the winter time, so I'm putting in the plastic. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Problems with the Allen wrench. Probably tighten it up from the Allen wrench on the other side, and then socket needs to move once in a while. So that is something they don't tell you, is that air blocker is held in with 4 bolts on those brackets, and when you want to take it out, you gotta remove those 4 bolts to put it in. And then once all that stuff is tightened up in front, you can tighten up the back end. Yes, I would tighten up the ones in the corners first before I tightened up the ones that hold the bracket to the actual hood scoop. Because you can see that pulls it down onto that little piece of plastic that goes around. That basically keeps the water out of your compartment there. Now I did wish that Kawasaki put in a way to hold stuff in this compartment, because it is just sitting there sort of like a trunk, but there is no place to actually store anything in there. If you did, it would go all over the place and then probably down in through the frame and around and down and onto the ground. So there is the other corner. And it goes around. You see the little clip in that piece on the top. There's the other corner. And there's a clip in that bracket now. And there's the front plastic in there. So that's the bolts you would have to take out. That one, and then there's one on the other, 2 on the other side, in order to remove that plastic windbreak. So in the summer, 4 bolts, take the plastic off, put 4 bolts back in. Now the actual hood per se goes back on. You don't have the the quarter turn pieces anymore, because you now are going to use these nice screw-in pieces into that bracket down there. And yes, you have to screw them in and screw them out every time you want to go in and out of your hood. Alright, next. Another day, of course. Different day. Bought this on Amazon also. Universal UTV mirrors. Let's unbox this puppy. So I haven't had mirrors on my side-by-side. There we got the instructions. I do suggest you actually read them and not just kind of browse them through like I did. Got an Allen wrench and sort of a socket wrench. And then you have 2 mirrors. And then nicely packaged. So instructions, that's it in that thing. So I kind of look at the instructions, but don't read them all the way through. And then of course I just throw everything around. So I would suggest to actually read these through. Static. I kind of glance at them. I like pictures. All men like pictures. Alright, see which way's up. Take off the plastic. Now, there is, as I'm glancing at them again, there is a cap on this piece over here to hide the actual bolt and screw. There we go. Pull it off. Put it back on later when it's all mounted up. So That one fits in there. Tighten it up. And that's that one, which is actually to tighten it on your roll bar. And there's two ways of doing this, though the instructions say one way. And of course I do it the obvious way, which is take the Allen and undo this little bolt, screw, whatever you want to call it. And I take it out. Well, you don't have to. There, it's all apart. And then of course I drop things. Man, I drop everything. Okay, so if you got a windshield, you gotta loosen up your windshield, whether it's strapped down like this with Velcro or however it is. Because that piece that's in my hand has got to go around it. Let's see, set up that, figure out where I want to mount it. The windshield a little looser, get that through. Get it mounted sort of where I want it. And then I got to take that screw and put it back in. And of course I drop it and cut, and here we go. Get it screwed back in where it originally was and tighten it all back up. There is a pin on that holder mechanism that's not the screw that you can take off. It's sort of like a hinge pin, and you don't have to unscrew that screw all the way and take it out. You just take the hinge pin out, loosen it up a little bit. See, back to the instructions. It's like, oh, missed up there. And then you can get it around there and then put the hinge pin back in its place, and there you go, and you don't have to try to get that bloody bolt back in the place it was supposed to go. And then tighten her up. And then once you get the mirror set to where you want it, you take the other, gotta get it to where I want to set it here, because the other bolt in there tightens that up. And then of course you put the little cap back on. Don't forget to tighten your windshield back up. I got the one side and I forgot to do the other side. Alright, and then you can sit in the driver's seat and set the mirrors up. One thing you really want to do though is take the plastic off of the actual mirror surface. Yeah, that plastic. Otherwise it's not very clear. Boy, that guy in the mirror doesn't look too good. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. There we go. Boy, that looks a lot clearer, doesn't it? And here we go. We got the hood scoop on. We're in the garage. Need a little more light. And then we got mirrors. We now have mirrors. It was so tight over in the shed, if I put mirrors on it, I'd have to pull them in every time I went in and out, and I just didn't want to do it. Now I've got mirrors. I got a bigger door. The Mule's on one side, the tractor's on the other side. It's got its own door. I don't have to pull in and out mirrors or anything like that. So I got mirrors, I got hood scoop, and I'll let you know about the hood scoop in the summer. So thanks for watching. Yeah, it's still winter. Like, subscribe, and comment. They're all free. Let me know. See you later.